That song is in my playlist called Songs That Make You Go, or Stank Face. It's just, it's, it's heavy, you know? It's got just a lot of heat. And I think that has a lot to do with how slow the groove is. Because even before the song like mounts, you know, and the guitars come in and the drums are really smashy, even before that, just the first few seconds, I'm already like, ugh. Like already digging my teeth into the meat of the song. It's just, it's, okay, so I remember my first impressions of this song. I remember thinking, this song just stays on the same note. Now that's an oversimplification, but that was like the feeling I got. And I was so surprised at how engaged I was and interested and moved by a song that just stayed in the same place for 6 minutes. And I still feel the same way. That I don't know. I just don't feel like that's particularly easy to do. But so there's, even though it doesn't have a drone, it can give the feeling of a drone, you know? So, okay, so it's in the key of C, and I'm not even necessarily going to say it has a scale. It trends towards minor, but the vocalist is singing in Phrygian. Phrygian is a very dark, haunting scale. It's because of that second, that note that's just above the first note. It has this weight to it because it's so close to, it's right next to the most gravitationally strong note in the entire song. So there's an incredible amount of tension created. So what I remember is that the vocalist just sings 3 notes the whole song. C, B flat, D flat, C, in different combinations. You are my angel, come from way above to bring me love. Even love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. He's kind of love you, love. I don't know if that second one's really a note. His voice is just kind of falling. Love you, love you. But anyway, so that's pretty interesting, right? It's just like, it always felt like the Wikipedia article I was reading before said claustrophobic production. His vocal definitely makes me feel a bit claustrophobic because it feels like he's completely trapped in this tiny little area. You are my angel, he can't get away from her. Like, it's just, you know, and that these persistent C notes, again, that's the key of the song, just keep getting hit. So the very first thing, and then we'll talk about the groove, but so I love the way it like slowly swells in. You're not even sure what's happening. So this is the main bass line. And I got to tell you, for the longest time, my brain, I had a case of wishful hearing. I decided in my brain that it was going, dum 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 da da dum dum da da dum 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 da da dum dum da da. Not only is that rhythm a little bit wrong, but the second note is not that low. It's actually that sounds so weird. Dum dum da dum dum da da dum 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 da dum dum da da. And I always thought that was kind of interesting because that second note da da is kind of in conflict with the my angel. They're right next to each other, and usually in most scales you would have to pick one or the other, but they just have them both in there. And this, would sound way more dark. And I just had imagined that they tried that and then they decided not to. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know how they went about it, but it's just, this still sounds kind of dark, but it doesn't sound as evil, I guess, as like his voice. It's more open and more brighter. Anyway, so that's just a little nerdy detail. And this groove. So, right, it's almost like the groove has all these different levels, right, of energy. And it starts with this one that's really almost in the background, you know, like it's kind of unassuming. It's non-threatening. But it gives you this feeling that maybe something is coming. The kick alone. I love that, like, quick da-da. It's like a heartbeat kind of feeling, right? But all that space, just thump. So you get this plodding feeling, right? It's incredibly slow. And I've mentioned this in my Nine Inch Nails analysis videos. When the groove is this slow and this heavy, you know, there's a lot of bass here, right? And thumpy, it conjures up feelings for me like there's like a being or a creature or human, something that is big, right? It feels threatening in a way. But this, again, it feels almost like this thing that's coming hasn't really come yet. But it's like, maybe, what is this called? Prowling. So there's also another bass note that's hitting the C. Syncopated on the second one, I think. Yeah. All these little details matter. So anyway, it's just heavy, right? Heavy on the low end. And then you've got this drum groove with a very satisfying, almost thwack sounding snare. Wish I could do it with my voice. A beatboxer probably could. But doesn't it feel kind of like it's slapping you? But just a little bit. It's not like... It's like halfway between like a snap and a thwack and a clap and a snare. It's kind of got some qualities of all of them. And then those hi-hats are kind of like sizzly. Nice like open hi-hat there. But they sound very much like digital, right? Very... Oh yeah, and all these delays. Oh my God, I love these little accents where you just get a drum hit of some kind of one shot, and then it's got this really ornate sort of delay or echo. And it's on a triplet pattern or a dotted eighth note, which just means there's going to be like 3 against 2 rhythms. Very eerie kind of guitar, making you feel uneasy. And this intro is long, right? Did we just get a new snare? So I was really interested to look at like all the layering, right? Because like I said, this drum groove starts like at the smallest version of itself, and then it slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there are moments where, you know, they up the ante very clearly at the beginning of a bar line. But I also feel like there are some tracks that are sort of fading in slowly so you don't really notice, or fading out near the end until suddenly you're like, wait, where did that other drum beat go? Like you didn't even notice it leave or come. So yeah, see, now there's already within 28 seconds, there's a second snare, just kind of reinforcing that thwack. And that one's not on, that's a different delay timing, but that sounds great too. And I don't know about you, but I kind of lose myself in the timing here. Like I never know when he's going to start singing. I would have to count it, or when the guitar is going to come in doing that really creepy line. So one of the reasons that sounds so creepy is probably the guitar tone itself, right? It's a lot of reverb on it, and it's just got this very mushy atmospheric sound, but also the notes themselves. Like I could play it on the piano, and I will, and it'll sound probably just as creepy. So, is that it? It's this note. I feel. I don't know. That's chromatic. So it's going up by the smallest. Well, guitars can do anything. Guitars can slide. But in terms of like the notes that we all recognize in Western harmony as being notes with names, is going up by the smallest amount. So this sound. And yeah, you'll hear chromaticism used in Nine Inch Nails songs in ways to make you feel uneasy too. So that just feels very tense, and it's ending on a note that feels very unfinished too. Just that. But there's never any sort of resolution there. So let's skip ahead to when he starts singing, "You are my angel." Okay, so I don't know much about this person or you know what their influences are or anything, but what a distinctive voice. The delivery is so odd, but it works really well. I notice his vibrato it reminds me of Little Dragon's vibrato. I don't know if any of you listen to Little Dragon, the singer for Little Dragon. It's like a vibrato that feels like it's cracking. I don't know if I can do it. You are my angel. It's very wavery, and there's like it's almost like they can barely eke it out. Like it feels like their voice is breaking while they're doing it. I can't do it. You can hear it. And he kind of ends all his lines that way. It's very ornate. You know, it's really... it's something that is potent, I would guess. And he uses it gratuitously, right? So there's just this like very unsettling feeling just because of his vibrato. And also his voice, I don't know if anybody else can relate, but it sounds a bit androgynous to me. So that always kind of made me feel a little bit like, ooh, you know, there's like a level of mystery and of just not knowing who's singing. And you are my angel. I want to talk about some of the layers under the vocals real quick, because I've always wanted to know what was going on here. So we just have I don't know where I am in the song. Okay. So we had dun, 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 you are my angel. So there's this rising, falling feel. And then this second one, come from way above, you start to hear a major third. So this is a minor third. Head like a hole. But then you start to hear this way high up. And I love that conflict. Come from way above to bring me love. And then it like goes away. Because these are all C's. Come from way above to bring me love. I love that it just swells in and then it's gone. To bring me love. It's gone. Dum, dum. Also a C, and here come the drums. I haven't counted this, but I get a feeling that that phrasing is a little odd. Like the phrase didn't complete, kind of like started over prematurely. There's like a lot of feelings like that of just the structure of the song is just a bit fluid, right? So these drums are great. These are more, I mean, what was that track that was so famous in the Matrix soundtrack, like the original Matrix? No, not that one. It's maybe it's that one. So I don't know exactly what to call this style, but these drums they're just so like epic and boomy and kind of cinematic. I love drums like this. I love slow grooves. So now we've got like this, and it's very metallic sounding. It just sounds like it could hurt you, you know? By the way, what's another great thing about just him singing in this part of this one little the scale? Da, 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 da. He's singing like it's like the trifecta in this scale. The one, I don't know how it is for you, but 1, flat 7, flat 2, they encapsulate or enclose the tonal center. So it also feels like the tonal center's trapped. And it's like the darkest sound, I think, in the whole scale. So just hearing him just looping on these, she's on the dark side, it just feels so right. It's just like satisfying. I love that production choice. The smashy drums, of course, we have another level we haven't gotten to yet. The smashier drums drop out when he sings Neutralize, because it feels like it's building to something, and then there's like this anticlimax that I really like there. And another like rhythmic detail. Neutralize every man inside, every man inside. A lot of his other lines are very syncopated, like stressing offbeats and stuff, but he kind of waits and hangs back to hit you with the sight. Every man inside. I always like that feeling, that sight. It just really makes that word, that moment, more powerful. But yeah, I really like the way that feels. It feels like the blood was rushing and then suddenly like the hands around the throat or something. It's just very like you got choked. Like, I don't know. It's just a very dangerous song. I know it's just about a beautiful woman, but so I didn't realize this before, but I think, is the rest of the song all instrumental, or is there more vocals after this? This might be it. But the song's 6 minutes long. The vocals, I think, end at 2 minutes. So it's 4 minutes of an instrumental that builds and just becomes more and more dangerous sounding. I love that. Dun, dun. It's so bright, just like really brash sounding and syncopated, very rhythmic. Dun, dun, dun. You could argue that this one guitar line alone gives us some sense of a chord progression, but not really. That note is the bottom of a very important chord in most music, so you could think of that as like a feeling of moving around harmonically, but not really. It still feels like we're stuck on C. Okay, so things start to calm down a bit, right? Does he sing again? He does sing, right? Okay. this part. So that whole section, this louder section comes early. So this is the verse. I know there isn't really a verse or a chorus in the song actually, but if this is, a thing that's repeated before, the first time this whole phrase was a lot longer. Come from way above to bring me love. This time, come from way above. Bam. So there's a subverted expectation there. Other thing that I just noticed is keep singing come from way above. And yet to me, this feels like a force of destruction or something. It doesn't feel like an actual angel, right? I mean, maybe that's obvious, but I just thought I would mention it. If anything, I expected him to say come from way below. But that would be probably too on the nose, and life is more complicated than that. I love at the end we got a dun 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 dun. We got to have a harmony on the main line. Dun, 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 dun. It's thirds. And that minor sound is very serious sounding. The drums are so great. All the drum fills are so great. Lots of syncopation and stuff. And then this ending is so cool. I mean, I just love feeling the life slowly drain away from me for this whole last minute and 10 seconds of the song, returning to how it started, and even it just feels like someone's light is being put out slowly. It's really intense. I feel like this song taps into your nervous system, right? It's you're not intellectually experiencing it. It's very body centric. But yeah, it's a great song. I love it.